it has now become the one day a year, the only day where people question what they see on the internet. Now,
Oh.
I'd like where they, I'd really appreciate they did that the other 364.
That's right. Promo UPFront, money in the pick, the mullet, a full podcast.
Kirby, I've been singing to you for quite a while now, and I would like to change it up this week and read you a poem by maybe America's poet laureate. I get up and nothing gets me down. You got it tough?
You got
I've
the
seen the
tough
toughest
shit
around. Kirby, that's how we're going to start the Promo UPFront podcast today with
all
a
right.
little poem by one David Lee Roth. And that's how we're going to start this episode 196 of the Promo UPFront podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Bill Petrie. With me, as always, let's call him the Lieutenant of Language, the one and only Kashaktin Kirby Hasseman. Kirby, how the hell are you?
I'm doing pretty well. I have made strides over the last couple of years to do better about winter and how it affects me and whatever. And I always say that spring is a little bit schizophrenic in Ohio, but it's not usually like this. Like we have had 70 degrees on the same day that we had torrential downpours. Like I literally walked into the hospital and almost went home and changed my clothes. It was so raining so hard. That night we had tornado warnings all over the region. This morning it was snowing. Like it's been a weird week, man. So I'm doing well, but I'm trying. I don't know how to dress. I guess that's where I'm at. How about you, buddy?
Yeah, same. I was wearing shorts on Easter Sunday, shorts and a t-shirt, and enjoying outside in the back 40. Yesterday, it stormed and hailed here,
Yeah.
and today I'm wearing a little bit of flannel because I think the high is only like 52, and it's cloudy and very British looking outside. But you know what? Other than that, I am doing well. Things are busy at work. I like busy, as you do too, because it keeps things moving. But as the weather was getting all schizophrenic, like you said, a great word, I was thinking about a lot of things.
Okay.
And one of the things I thought about, I think clients are looking for that kind of schizophrenia in their promotional products. In the fact that they want something that's gonna, I don't know, wow, and create that aha moment
Right.
in their clients.
Not
I
expected.
think not expected. I mean, we're looking for kick-ass merchandise, right?
Yeah.
And you know what I'm talking about, and exactly. And I think there's really only one place to look. In fact, I know there's one place to look, and that Kirby, that's our pals over at Seven Sourcing, and I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
Because you silently asked me why, but
Of
I'm
course.
going to verbally answer why. They are experts in the field of custom sourced merchandise overseas. They work with distributors to help them source those custom orders direct from those fully vetted overseas factories, and that's without having to deal with the factories themselves. It's pretty amazing stuff. Seven Sourcing has a very strong pedigree when it comes to navigating direct custom merch sourcing, as their team has over a quarter century of successful importing experience. And even better, Kirby, they work, like I said, directly with each distributor on brand strategy, product development, product sourcing, order management, quality control, compliance, and logistics. To put it simply, they demystify custom direct sourcing. And while they source merchandise always at the lowest possible cost, right? That's something that anybody would want. They absolutely will never sacrifice quality or safety to meet those price points. Seven Sourcing isn't interested in meeting expectations. They really just want to exceed them. And Russ Mogel and his team, they do such a fantastic job. Kirby, this is a tremendous opportunity for distributors to wow their clients with fully custom merchandise now, isn't it?
It is. And I think when you're working with a supplier that's going to go overseas, the word that pops into my head is trust. Like and to be honest, I don't trust myself to do this. I don't have the experience. I don't have the knowledge. And so if you are going to work with a company, you want to make sure that it's one that you have a level of trust that aren't going to screw you in any way. And that's what, when I think of Seven Sourcing, trust is something that comes to mind.
That's a great word, especially coming from someone where, someone who nobody trusts you, Kirby, but people can absolutely trust Seven Sourcing with their custom direct overseas merchandise sourcing. Now, Kirby, it takes a little bit longer. Takes a little bit longer. The average order takes about 75 days, but isn't that extra planning worth it to get that wow moment? I know you think so. I do too. And Kirby, of course, people trust you. You're a great dude. When you're ready to turn your idea into something more, let's say something that becomes maybe an iconic brand. Take that idea, turn it into something iconic. Trust Seven Sourcing to help you out. You reach out to them at sales@sevensourcing.com. You're not going to be sorry you did. All right, Kirby, you have the luxury
Yes.
of ushering in this podcast. You have the upfront section. Please, please give us a topic.
Yeah, so I don't know what has been in your craw lately, but you've been talking about like every time I have the promo up front, it's an easy, there's an obvious
Yep.
topic. There's tons going on. And unless
Yep.
I have completely whiffed, I didn't know what that was this week. But I do
Kirby,
have a
there's
topic.
nothing going on in the promotional products industry. You're good.
Okay. So I did get this in the mail.
Oh.
The PPAI Promotional Products Work, one of the amazing pieces of media from the team at PPAI. I did find a topic in here and I wanted to get your take. Now, before I go into this, I want to be clear. This is this is not a hatchet job. I don't want this to be like that I'm coming at this. I'm just curious. I truly want this to be a discussion. So the Supplier Star Awards were announced. And so I read through the piece, which I have, of course, in my hands if you're watching. And I went through this and I was like, I think it's really cool. And I want to say congratulations to all the folks who have gotten it.
Sure.
But I'm curious, and again, I know that you're not on the distributor side, but I'd like you to, I know you work with distributors.
I do.
And obviously suppliers as well. And I have some thoughts on this. So I'm going to ask a question, and then if you want me to go first, I can. Supplier Star Awards, very cool. But do they matter in purchasing decisions? Do they affect distributor behavior in how they in how they source products? Really cool. And I think that again, I want to be clear that I'm congratulating the folks who've won it. But does it matter from a business perspective? What do you think?
Kind of.
Okay.
Kind of. Here's what I think it does. I don't think we being named a supplier star is going to change anyone's behavior. I don't think distributors look at that list and think, okay, I've never used brand X before, but now I see, that they're a gold level supplier star. I'm going to use them. I'm moving my business. No, I don't think so at all.
Okay.
What I do think it does is validate the decisions that distributors have already made.
Okay.
So
I
think it reinforces. You used a great word when we were talking about our sponsor this week, trust. I think it validates the trust because there's such an enormous factor of trust with the supplier distributor relationship. I think it validates the use of it.
Yeah.
Now, I think every once in a while you might say, I've never heard of that supplier. Obviously, they're doing the right things because they got named a supplier star. So occasionally I think it might change behavior, but I think more than anything, it validates the decisions that distributors already make. That's kind of my initial thought, Kirby. What say you?
Yeah, it's really, I think that's, especially considering I just dropped this on you. That was really insightful. So
I'm still hungover.
Yeah. Well, good for you. Yes and no. That's my answer. So no, in the sense exactly what you said. Like I'm not transferring all my business because this particular company got an award. I did like your point about validating my decisions. That's interesting because I can say, oh yeah, I trust them and whatever. So here are my reasons why I do think it sort of matters, but what I kind of take on it. Number one, it's just purely top of mind, right? Like just like any other kind of recognition, whether it's a press release, a hiring announcement, whatever, you just put a positive light out there and you put brand X out there. And so number one, it does create top of mind awareness, which is always good.
Sure.
Number two, maybe the award doesn't drive my behavior, but the actions that lead to the award does. Right? Because they've won awards. These companies have won awards because they've done things consistently. They've delivered on their promises. When you do those things, it leads to these things. And so The campaigning for an award, not so much. The actions that lead to the award, yes, I think they do help. Does that make sense? It's more the journey than the destination on that. My other thought is, I think maybe I'm wrong on this, but I think Sage ratings, like, and the ratings probably through ASI carry a weight because that's where the searching is happening, I think, in today's world. Now, I think that factors into whether they win a Supplier Star award, but just for what that's worth. And then I think my final takeaway is just that our decisions, our purchasing decisions, are so driven by relationships still, that regardless of whether they're winning awards, my relationships with the principals who own the company or the sales team members, those are the reasons that I'm making purchasing decisions. And I think definitely it's the way that my sales team makes decisions. Now, obviously, to your point, I loved your point about saying they've made those decisions and then they see this and they go, see, I was right. Right. Like, so I think that there's something there. So those are a couple of my thoughts on that.
I love that. I want to I love when we have a topic and then we can go on a tangent, because I'm going to take us on a quick tangent. You said something that I've been wanting to talk about, but I always forget, or I can't think. And when I do think about it, it's not the right time. And you said one thing you don't like is the campaigning for the awards. I agree. It's something that bothers me greatly, and it could be Supplier Star. It could be what's the on the horizon, the rising stars. It could be that. It could be, and I don't like any of that. And that's not to castigate anybody who's done that.
Yeah.
That's part of it's part of the ecosystem. It exists, so I can understand why people campaign for it. I don't like it though.
Yeah.
One of the greatest joys of my career is when not only did I win the Distinguished Service Award from PPAI, I had no idea that you nominated me. The joy of, wow, to know that Kirby actually, not that I don't think that, but here's tangible evidence that this guy really likes me, appreciates me, thinks I'm making a difference. That's honestly better than the award itself.
Right.
And so I think when you when you campaign for this thing, somehow it's a little hollow. You know, I just don't. I find it very distasteful. I'd like that to be not part of it. I'd like to stand on their merits. That's the reason PPAI moved to a slate when they with board nominees now, because it used to be a campaign and people would have videos and ask for votes. I just
No, it's
I
popularity.
like that. Yeah, I'd really like that part to be out of the equation, especially with the Supplier Star Awards. I think people speak with their ratings on Sage or ESP. I think, well, this Supplier Star, so it's Sage. And I think that, you can solicit input without asking people to campaign.
Yeah.
But I also see the other side of it, where having people publicly campaign for it also gives PPAI additional visibility. So I'm not sure how to resolve the issue I'm having. I just know I don't love it. I don't like the inundation of, hey, vote for us for Supplier Star. I don't love that, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I don't. So, and honestly, I'm going to not agree with you. Just
pick a side, Kirby. Pick a side
for the purpose of this discussion. So, yes, I don't always. It sometimes can feel a little distasteful, where it's like all of a sudden I'm getting emails like. And I guess it's, as I'm saying this out loud, it has to do with the context of the ask, right?
100%, 100%. By the way, yes,
yeah. So here's what
you're right.
my pushback is like, I think that I don't do a good job, and organizations don't do a good job of asking for Google reviews. But Google reviews really matter, right? And so, but if I just send out 10,000 emails and ask for Google reviews, it's hollow. If after a great experience you ask for a Google review, it seems totally reasonable, right? Like,
I agree.
And so I think that to a degree, it's about when the ask happens, not that it's a mass campaign. Maybe, I guess. Does that make sense?
No, 100%. The ask is, hey, if you've liked how we've served you, we would appreciate your vote. I never have an issue with that. A blind email, as a service provider, especially, I don't want your email asking me to vote for you. You don't even know if I'm a customer.
Right.
And then this also translates, to the individual awards. When I get a blind email, that's addressed to me, but I can tell it was sent to about 75 other people asking for nominations for a specific award. I find that distasteful as
Yeah.
well.
Yep. Okay,
I don't
cool.
mind a
That was fun.
personal ask of, hey, this would be important to me. Anyway, and interesting stuff. Hey, Kirby, do you know what next week is?
What's that, Bill?
Well, let me give you a hint, Kirby. It's a tradition unlike any other.
Oh,
That's right, Kirby. It's the Augusta Towel Golf Special from our good pals over at the Kanata Group.
love it.
They're offering deep discounts on the most beautiful golf towels in this or any other industry, and I can verify that. Even better, the special has been extended through May 15th, 2024. So head over to thekanatagroup.com to take advantage of this offer while you can. Hello, friends. All right.
Hey, before we move on to your topic, can I just say one
Yeah.
more thing?
Sure.
I love this magazine. I just want to give a shout out to the crew at PPI who does this magazine. It is so well done. I'm holding it up for those who are just listening to the podcast. There's a great piece in here about Joseph Summer. It was one of those things where you get busy and you don't always look at the pieces that you get sent. I spent some time looking at it last night. I'm like, man, this thing's well done. So that's it.
I agree. It's a fantastic magazine, a fantastic read. And you and I have gushed over the past, I'd say 12 to 18 months about the changes that Josh Ellis and his team have made over at PPA. And that's not to say before
That was great.
it was bad, but PPA suffered horrifically during COVID. Financially, that it was a big challenge over there. And the rebuilding job that Josh Ellis and his team are doing are pretty phenomenal. All right, Kirby, I called you the lieutenant of language for a reason, but I'm going to move on to a different topic.
Okay.
Let's talk about brands and April Fool's Day.
Okay.
I am over it. I am so flippin' over it. I don't want to be a fun sponge. I love to laugh. I think I like to make other people laugh. I love a good joke. This whole corporate fake product bullshit has completely jumped the shark. Kraft mac and cheese, and some of them are real. Kraft mac and cheese and Post Fruity Pebbles combo. Dunkin' rebranded as just donuts with a merch line, like the merch tie-in, but again, why? Califa Farms had an almond-based dill pickle creamer. Sonic suggested they were going to introduce a queso slush. 7-Eleven, and the big one, the 7-Eleven had Big Bite hot dog sparkling water. I don't know if you saw that.
I ignored everything on social media the entire day. I hate April Fool's Day with all of my soul.
Okay,
I hate
good.
it.
Here's my thing. It has now become the one day a year, the only day where people question what they see on the internet. Now, I'd like where I'd really appreciate if they did that the other 364, but it's now become the only day where people wonder, is that really true? I am so over it.
Yeah.
It blurs the lines too much to me because there are some really interesting collaborations and combos, things. I think of the Heinz has a dill pickle ketchup, which 5 years ago to me would have been an April Fool's joke. I know a lot of people like it. I don't like either flavor personally, but so it's real. So that's an actual product. But the lines are so blurred now. I'm like, I dread April Fool's Day. I dread having the wool pulled over my eyes. I'm sorry. And I think it's at the point now, you spend all this time planning and creating something. I think it's actually harmful to your brand. Kirby, what say you?
I literally couldn't agree more. I actually was on a local radio station on April Fool's Day, and I said that I think it's the worst holiday on the earth. I hate it so much. Go ahead.
I am pausing. I'm going to challenge you every week. I was on a podcast. I was on a radio show. You are the king of all media in the promotional products industry. I just want to declare that right now. Please continue.
It was a Coshocton County-based radio station. It was not a big deal. But
I'm just kidding.
It happened to be on April Fool's. And so, it was a talk show. And so I said that I don't like it. It is a holiday where we celebrate lying. And I agree with your point that it's detrimental to the brands. I don't like it from a communication perspective, from a media perspective. Like there actually came weather alerts like that day that came out that talked about ridiculous tornadoes coming through
Yeah.
the area. And I was like, it's not real. It's not real. Turns out it was. Turns out it was, but because you
Yeah.
douchebags are lying about every other thing on the earth, I didn't
Yeah.
believe the real warning that was happening. I hate it so much. It makes me want to punch you in the throat. I can't stand it.
Yeah.
Is that clear?
All right. So yeah. So we've spoken, people. We are the voices of reason in the promotional products industry. Stop doing April Fool stuff. You're burning a lot of calories creating a lie when really everything should be focused on transparency. That is what your audience wants. You're really mortgaging your company's identity in a negative way for a cheap gag. Stop it.
Couldn't agree more.
All right.
All
Kirby,
right.
what say you?
Okay.
Do you have another topic
Yeah. Yeah,
or
we'll jump in
sure.
here. So this is one,
Yeah.
I might be going outside of my wheelhouse, but
That's okay.
bear with me here. So I don't know if you've seen this,
I'll
but
bear.
yeah, the National Association of Realtors settled a giant lawsuit, and they're talking about how essentially with price fixing is
Commission
essentially
fees,
what it
yeah.
had to do it. And they're saying it's going to affect how commissions are paid to realtors. And I think I think a lot of realtors are freaking out. Now, I think, as is the case, a week or two goes by and they're like, okay, everything's going to be okay. But it is going to change, I think, how some commissions and how some upfront deals are made in the real estate market. Why does this matter to us? Because I think real estate is a market that a lot of distributors sell into because realtors have to promote themselves. So I was curious, and maybe this can be super quick if you want, but when big changes like this happen, I'm always, because we have some realtor clients, and I'm
Sure.
like, how is this going to affect how branded merchant advertising sells into that market?
Right.
Because you go, oh, there's certainly the overall budget piece of it, which I don't know is going to be affected as big as I originally thought.
Right.
But does it change strategy? Does it change whatever? Again, I've thought about this. I'll jump in if you want me to, but I was curious to know if you saw this, if you have it, think it will have any impact whatsoever.
You smell that, Kirby? That smells like opportunity to me.
I
Here
agree.
is here. I have I am mentoring a young person. I want to call him a kid. He's 24.
Yeah.
So sound like old man Petrie when I do
Yeah.
that. But he's a kid new to the industry, and one of the things I'm having him do is look at specific markets he wants to target in real estate's one of them, and it came up this week, and he was actually not aware. So I said, this represents a tremendous opportunity for you
Yeah.
because it's unknown. When there is the unknown, that means opportunity.
Mm.
No one knows, like you said, there was an initial shock. Oh my gosh, they're capping commissions, and it's not going to be 6% anymore, where the seller pays both the buyer, the real estate agent representing the buyer and the seller. It's a little bit of chaos right now, and that's okay because it will settle, like you said. And I don't think any of us knows where it's going to settle. People will still buy houses. Real estate agents will make money. It's all going to work out. It always does. But in this moment where now realtors aren't going to need to compete on lower commissions, they're going to have to compete on quality. And you have an opportunity to enhance their brand. For example, how are they I told him this. How are they congratulating a first-time home buyer or
Yeah.
any home buyer on a purchase of a new home? And they need to spend money on those gifts that are kept in the home. Maybe a really nice bamboo cutting board that has a really nice logo with a phone number on it. And it's that realtor's phone number, because people don't throw away beach towels, and they don't throw away cutting boards. So
Right.
they will use it. So how are there's opportunity here more than anything else, because we can all sit here and play, Nostradamus and try to predict the future. I have no idea what it means, but right now, uncertainty means unknown. Unknown means opportunity.
Yeah, that's really good. And I didn't know you were working with somebody who was looking in the real estate market. So this is a wonderful, happy accident.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I looked at it and said, okay, I think it's always been, if I were a realtor, because that's sort of how I go into when I'm trying to help
Yeah.
somebody, I'm like, okay, if I were them, how would I go to market? Right. Like if I were their CMO, if I were, and I have
Right.
always said this, but it's even more important now. My entire goal as a realtor would be to get listings. Like
Yep.
that would be job number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's like, okay, if I get a buyer agent, great. But my job is I'm going to make money if I get listings. And so helping them create strategies, lead magnets, branded merch that secures listings first, everything
Right.
else second. So that was because of that change. That would be the opportunity that you're talking about that I'd be like, okay, that's where I'd go. So anyway, I just thought that was kind of interesting.
I think there's
that shift.
opportunities. There's opportunities everywhere to become sticky. I don't know what the number is in terms of how long people own a home. Like what's the typical average lifespan people live in a home before they move? I'm thinking of somewhere between 5 and 8 years is for a first home.
Good guess.
To me, again, so my thought was, and I like your approach as much as well. It was how do you get that second transaction?
Yeah.
How do you
Agreed.
get that where you don't have to find listings, people call you.
Right.
So great stuff. Should we do something quick? Are we?
Yeah.
We're about
we
done,
got
right?
we got one more time. Yep.
Okay. Let's do something a little fun, Kirby. It's quiz time for Kirby.
Okay.
We spoke earlier about brands and April Fool's Day. And this is a little game to underscore how stupid this holiday is and how dumb the approach is. Kirby, so I'm gonna share products, and you're gonna tell me if it's real or was an April Fool's Day prank.
Okay. All right. I'm going to
Okay,
do
and there
poorly, but okay.
let me be very clear. There are wrong answers here, but I'm not going to fry you for getting them. Okay?
Okay,
I'm not.
fair.
All right. The first one is Arby's French fry flavored vodka. Real or made up?
I feel like that's real.
It was. We talked about it on the podcast.
Okay,
So I started with that one for a reason.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was going to say, I think that one's real.
Barefoot Wine Oreo Thins Red Blend. Real or April Fool's?
So it's a wine. I'm
Mhm.
going to go with April Fools.
Wrong. That was a real product. See the problem here, people? We are underscoring the actual issue here. All right.
Yes. Okay. I love it.
Omaha Steaks antiperspirant, apparently for the meat sweats.
Oh,
Real
God.
or fake?
Please tell me that's fake.
It is fake.
Okay,
It
good.
is. It's not only fake. I actually looked it up. It's triple fake. All right.
Okay.
Lady Gaga Oreos. Real or fake?
I'm going to go real.
Good job. Real.
Okay. I
Real.
don't, yeah, just a total. These are all guesses, people, just so you know.
Yeah. Welch's Fruit Snacks in Hidden Valley Ranch flavor as a collab. Real or fake?
It sounds, all of this sounds gross to me, but I'm going to go real.
Nope. Sorry, Kirby. That one was fake.
Yeah. Okay.
Tic Tacs. You a big fan of the Tic Tac? I love Tic Tacs.
Okay.
I think those orange ones are the best ones, by the way.
Okay.
How about
I have
Nutella
no
flavored
opinion.
Tic Tacs?
Oh,
How about
absolutely
Nutella flavored
not. No.
Is that real or fake?
I don't care. No. So I'm going to say fake just because I don't want it to be true.
They are fake. All
Okay,
right.
good.
Peeps shaped makeup sponges. Real or fake?
Oh, I'm going with real on that.
That was absolutely real, Kirby. Good
Okay.
job.
Okay.
I know you're very familiar with OnlyFans. So you wanted to show me your account several times.
Oh God.
OnlyFans not safe for work hot sauce. Real or fake?
Real.
Fake. Kirby. Fake. Fake.
Okay.
French's mustard ice cream. Real or fake?
Gross. Fake.
That one was real. And might be my favorite one on the list. A collaboration between a margarine company and a candy company. I can't believe it's not Butterfinger. Real or fake?
Real.
Unfortunately, that's fake. That's the one I only wanted to be real on the list. So no, again,
you've made your point though. This is really good. This is good.
Yeah, I don't. The lines are so blurred. Who's to know what's real and fake? But I'll tell you who actually unblurs those lines, especially when it comes to direct custom overseas sourcing, and that's our pals over at 7 Sourcing. They demystify that overseas sourcing. They make that line as clear as possible because they are going to take care of every single thing for you. Product sourcing, product development, brand strategy, order management, quality control, compliance, and logistics. They do it all. and they will help you take an idea and turn it into something that is truly iconic for your clients. You want to do that? Of course you do. Head over to your email client of choice and type in sales@sevensourcing.com. Type in something sassy, a cool idea you have. 7Sourcing is going to hand it to you, help you out with it when you hit that send button. So go ahead and do that. Kirby, it has been a pleasure podcasting with you at a peep level today.
Oh, I think so.